Hey, thank you everyone for stopping by so quickly. Roja, Rodney, Larby, the Batsberry, Elias, Jack, Jacob, hello, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good night, or good evening I should say. Hope everyone is doing well. Hey Caitlin, welcome back. Jack, welcome back as well. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Let's see if my hotkeys are working. No, they're not. That's okay. Clockwork. Awkward personas. Welcome, welcome. Couldn't sleep? Well, this stream should put you to sleep right away. We're gonna be doing more Navmeshing with more chill music and less talking coming from my end. So, all in all, should be pretty good. My pleasure, Hark. My pleasure. See where we left off. We're gonna focus on Navmeshing again today. I know, big surprise. Trying to get this done ASAP, and then happy days, we can move on. Jack, we use the creation kit to make everything, more or less. I'm doing okay, thank you. Doing alright. Keeping busy. Let's see if I can load this up. 34 and 12. So, for those who haven't seen previous streams, this is Navmeshing, what we're working on, what we're doing right now. Basically laying down a navigational grid on top of the world map, which the NPCs will use to navigate. Hence why it's called a navigational grid. There's already a lot of Navmesh, as you can see. It's everything that's red is Navmesh. That's because it was automatically generated, and we are going over it by hand, fixing any errors and optimizing it where we can. Not the most complex or interesting process in the project, but it is a very important one. It's also a very time-consuming one, which is why I have been doing this almost every day for the past 2 months. Cheers, Synth. Appreciate that. As you can see, there's a big gap in the Navmesh right there. It's pretty clean as far as the cutoff goes, and the reason for that is because this is a steep hill. NPCs are not able to walk up this, so there's not any Navmesh placed whatsoever. Get rid of that one as well. Might look weird, but it's not a problem. If we were to extend the Navmesh all the way to the top, what you would see is NPCs basically walking in place. Because again, it's too steep for them to walk up it, but they think they can because we told them it's possible by, putting in the Navmesh in such a way that they should be able to walk over it. And that's how you get NPCs being stuck in place and causing trouble, basically, which is exactly what we try to avoid. Thank you, Fleagle. Appreciate that. These are also small issues we need to fix. These green lines are basically stitches. They stitch cell 1 and 2 together. If you look at the middle window on the stream to the left of the screen, you'll see coordinates. It says wilderness 3113. When I go down, it says wilderness 3112. So this is cell 3112. This is 3113. In order for NPCs to cross over from 13 to 12, there needs to be a stitch. If there's no stitch, then as far as they know, they can't cross over. Luckily, it's an easy fix, just like that. And now it's traversable again. Pretty neat. Hey Alan, welcome back. How did you get into this area of game development? Well, nav meshing is just, we needed to get nav mesh done, so I'm helping to get nav mesh done. Other parts of game development are just because it's fun. Nav mesh is a bit tedious, I'll admit. Interior design, for instance, is a lot of fun. If you've been following me on Twitch, then you've seen me work on an overhaul for Riverwood, for instance. Which I did in my spare time just because I thought Riverwood could use one, and I didn't really like most of the overhauls on the Nexus. And the way you get into that is just by trying it out, honestly. It seemed like fun to work on. I tried it. When I was doing it, it was fun, and then I kept doing it. Probably the best way to get into that kind of stuff. Thank you, John, for the follow, by the way. But yeah, if you're interested in game development, I definitely recommend picking up Unreal Engine 4 or, well, the Creation Kit, and just start screwing around with modding for fun. See if you like it. If you like it and you keep working at it, you might even get good at it, and you know, things might happen. You might become an actual level designer, who knows? The sky's the limit. Green Rain, thank you as well. And the Hairless Monkey. Good usernames today. What I'm doing right now is I'm lining up the Navmesh. If it's not lined up, it won't stitch. So they have to be as close together as they can possibly get. And if we manage that, the stitch should be successful. So we lined those up. One. Rest seems fine. Okay. If I did it right, a green line should appear in a second. There we go. Marcus, yeah, we have Senpai, thank you. We have basically two versions of Skyblivion at the moment. One is a straight copy of Oblivion, one-to-one. The most simplistic version out there, and it's the one we use for our quests, for all the testing and quest developments. And then we have the remaster, which is where we put in all the new landscapes and new assets, that kind of thing. That's the version with all the goodies, the version that I hope 99% of people will play. We're missing a bit of Navmesh over there. Focus on this first. How long has Skyblivion been in production? Since late 2016. I think December 2016 is when we really started Skyblivion as we know it today. Okay, I'm gonna try something that I don't often do on stream. Okay. What I just did, I generated the Navmesh myself. You can't see that, unfortunately, because I don't have my streaming software set up to show you every single window. You didn't miss much though. Basically what we have now is a super detailed cutout of our Navmesh. Way more detailed and complex than you want it for performance reasons. Gonna get rid of anything that we don't want, like these. Rock we don't want. That rock we don't want either. And the rest is more or less fine. And that one. I hate autosave sometimes. Hey Burger, welcome back. Yeah, I just made a little mistake. I simplified the Navmesh for the cell above us, which is why the borders are now separated. It's not a huge deal though, we can just redo that quickly. Mistakes I make are a good lesson, to be fair. What you want to do when you're working with this kind of stuff is you want to simplify your work by hitting N. That separates this specific cell. That way you can't accidentally work on anything outside of this. What I'm doing right now, I'm going to the advanced Navmesh generation tool and simplifying the edge collapse with a simplification level of 10. You can select from 0 to 10. Then hitting OK. And as you can see, the Navmesh is now automatically optimized. To me, this works just fine. Now the only thing we have left to do, go in here. And mark this as water. This is the reason why I hate working with water so goddamn much. Also the reason why my fingers hurt after doing nav meshing for a day. Oh well, it's for a good cause, right? Of that, by the way. Pretty much everything else can be blue. Right. That's a really quick automated Navmesh tutorial, I guess. No warnings found, fantastic. Then we can bring back all the other cells like that. Finalize the Navmesh. Job searching sucks. Yeah, tell me about it. Fucking nightmare, dude. Or dudette. Okay, nicely stitched. Perfect. Okay, nice. That. Oh, looks like we have a small issue here, so we'll fix that real quick. We need this stitched. Yo, Super Drive. And there we go. Perfect. I love it when the plan comes together. Anyone get that? Little reference? Might be too old of a show for you youngsters. Yo, Bowsette. No, it's not Lux from League. No. It's the OG badasses from way back when. Have you guys ever seen the Mr. T commercial for WoW? Mr. T was well known for being part of a show called... Exactly, Marcus. You got it. The A-Team. Come on, guys. The A-Team. Everyone knows the A-Team. Alright. Errors fixed. Cover drawn. Self-finalize. And we're out. Hey D, see you in the YouTubes. Okay, good. Looks pretty well stitched as well. Whoops. Alright, Caitlin, thank you very much for stopping by. See you next time. Watching this sort of work is satisfying as fuck, like completing a puzzle. It is when you're not behind the keyboard, I think. No, it's actually it's one of the most satisfying parts, yeah, to actually complete this and move on to the next. So it's like completing a jigsaw puzzle almost. It's the most rewarding when you check for errors and it says none. Like music to my ears. Skyrim flashbacks. It's still a pretty great game. I will say that out of all Elder Scrolls games, I don't like the story of Skyrim much. But I put thousands of hours into going through the different quests, DLC, exploring the massive dungeons. Skyrim really excels at dungeons and their design. I think they really nailed it. They did a really good job. There's some really interesting ones in Skyrim. Hell, I started playing Skyrim again on stream last week, and I haven't been able to stop. But with you know, everything we've seen from other open world RPGs in the last decade, I have to admit that my expectations for Elder Scrolls 6 are quite high. I really hope that Bethesda can meet them. Skyrim 2 tonight? No, I'm actually going to Tenet, to the movies for the first time since Corona, so no Skyrim 2. Yo, when? Welcome back. And Mrs. Miali, thank you for the follow. I stopped using fast travel because I love just walking everywhere. Yeah, I try to do that as well nowadays. Not really rushing through the game. It's taking your time. You hate the snow? That's probably a problem when you're playing Skyrim, isn't it? It's the problem. Ah, there it is. Tiger, thank you for the follow as well. And Smarty, welcome, welcome. Should be good. Making sure there's no errors. Sour Pickle, welcome back. Ooh boy, this does not look good. Tubungus and Bruto. Bruto, thank you for the follow as well. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. Stormtrooper. That's a dope name. Thank you. Smarty, there's one more plot actually of Navmesh, but the Navmesh department is gonna work on that together, as like a last hurrah kind of thing. Bit of team building, you know. So we're just saving that one to complete with, you know, the whole team. But that's gonna be like 4 or 5 people working on the same claim, so that'll be done really soon. There's a few other people working on Navmesh as we speak. While I'm doing this, they're doing their own claim. Should be done soon. Pickle, no, it doesn't. Hey, Yuvkin, welcome back. Roar, the Navmesh is automatically generated and then manually optimized and checked for errors. DFHF. I'm using the creation kit. Creation kit is the official modding. Yeah, King's West, if you can't be polite or just a decent human being, then you can get out. This is not the place to be angry at the world. So yeah, if someone can ban that lunatic, that'd be great. Let him I don't know, yell at his own wall or something. If you can't be rude, then shut up. No, it's kind of the other way around. If you can't be just a decent, normal human being, then, I don't know. Go outside, yell at some trees, at a bird. Contemplate on what's really important in life. Because raging in a YouTube chat, poor use of time. So, have fun. I really don't get those people, you know? What are they so upset about? What's going on in their life? I do feel sorry for you if that's how you spend your time. Seems a really toxic way of life. In any case, honestly, doesn't bother me at all. We're just gonna keep doing what we're doing. You got the attention you wanted? Yeah, probably. At the same time, I don't feel like just letting that kind of behavior go unnoticed. I really doubt that whatever I say has an impact on that guy's life, but I don't know. Maybe it does make him think. It probably won't. What's my favorite part of game development? It's watching watching ideas turn into concepts and concepts turn into concrete content in a game. That's really beyond awesome. That's surreal experience, honestly, to witness that. That's really cool. T-Gamer, who you see on YouTube as a moderator, he's working on Blackwood. He's one of our landscapers. I really disliked Oblivion's Blackwood. It was really boring, uninspired, but he made Blackwood from the ground up into an actual marsh, an actual swamp, a place that humans would probably rather avoid. Argonians might like it, might feel just at home. But it's been really cool watching that area go from just a mess it was in Oblivion to just one massive flat plain to what we have today. So that's absolutely epic. Incredible. For 20 likes. There's actually an interesting blog post on our website that talks about Blackwood. That's written by him. I would seriously give that a read if you guys have a minute to spare. What's been the most challenging aspect of the project? Definitely been just managing such a big and diverse group of people. We're from all around the world, but we don't have an international office or anything like that. Everyone works different times on the same overlapping project. It's been hard organizing that. It's been quite a challenge. And really, it's you're working on a AAA game with zero budget. That's the reality. And to make that work, you really do need a special group of people. And I think we have that. But still, the challenges that we face every day are quite difficult. Same challenges other game studios face, only they have a simpler solution, which is to throw money at problems. And that's something we can't do, so we have to be a bit more creative, think outside of the box most of the time. That's definitely been challenging. Luckily though, there's lots of talented people out there who want to work on a game just for the fun of it. And that's why this project has become the success that it is, and hopefully it'll turn into a full-fledged release that you guys can enjoy sooner rather than later, of course. I can explain to you guys the Navmesh process again in a second when we reach the next cell. So Navmeshing is laying down a navigational grid on top of the world map. Here we have the world map. Gray or nothing, that's basically an area you can't walk. In this case, the gray is a really steep hill. Camera can focus. NPCs will get stuck if they try to walk across that, so it's not navmeshed. The red triangles are navmesh. Again, the emptiness is just nothing. The green edges are stitches because we have to stitch the cells together when we finish the navmesh. Then you see blue lines, which are cover. So for instance, when an NPC wants to hide because they're being shot at with a bow, they will find cover behind this rock. There's also something called preferred pathing, but we'll talk about that when we find it, as well as water, which is also not in this specific cell, but again we'll try to find some if and when we can. Now the navmesh we're working on was automatically generated. What we're doing is we're optimizing and fixing the navmesh. So any errors that might pop up, we have to go over and manually adjust. And in some case the navmesh is terribly optimized, in which case we have to go over it by hand and make it a bit better. Hey Matthew, same goes to you. You're talking to a developer on the project, so you don't call him numbnuts. In fact, you don't call anyone that in chat because you don't know them. If you talk like that to your friends, that's cool. I don't give a shit. But in here, just have some common decency. Use your head. Keep it cool. If you can't do that, just watch in silence or don't watch at all. I don't really care. Engo, there's a bunch of different departments in the project. So while I'm working on Navmesh now, for instance, Key Gamer is working on Blackwood Landscaping. Tobias is working on finishing the steel weapon sets. He's a 3D artist. So there's a whole lot of things going on besides me just working on this today. It's not really a matter of what we are working on after this. It's, you know, all the things that we are working on at this moment. Right now I'm just doing Navmesh. Hopefully this time next month or next week or in 2 weeks I'll be working on interiors, for which you guys will are more than welcome to tag along and share your ideas. And after that, probably, I don't know, Some quest implementation maybe, testing, bug testing, who knows. This is what we, what I talked about, the preferred pathing. Let's see if this is stitched together before we move on. Yes, it is. Okay, so this is interesting. In Oblivion and Skyrim, you have something that's called preferred pathing. Now, preferred pathing is basically all these yellow triangles which tell an NPC that this is a road or a path. And you want them to take this as opposed to walking through the wilderness. If there's no preferred pathing, going to this front door for instance, NPCs might come jumping down the mountainside, swimming through the water, what have you. What you want is you want them to follow a straight path because that looks more organic, that looks more believable. In this case, the automated Navmesh takes us through the garden. And I don't know about you, but if I saw someone walking through a garden instead of, you know, going 2 centimeters to the right, that would break my immersion. So we're gonna move it along to the right just a little tiny bit. Same with the cabbages. Make sure they don't walk over the cabbage, but they walk past it. We'll broaden this up a little bit. And there we go. Immersion fixed. Now they will walk on the dirt and not on the vegetables. Another thing we see is this blue triangle right there. That signifies a door marker. If we disable the markers, it'll look just plain, but this is what NPCs see. NPCs see this little door marker right here. And the door marker standing on the Navmesh gives you this nice little blue Navmesh. Why am I using the wrong keys? Oh god, it's quick saving. Okay, give it a minute. When the CK quick saves, it tends to freeze. Well, sometimes it crashes and that makes you cry. This time around it doesn't. What about the rest of the Navmesh in the garden? The rest of the garden is Navmesh, that's correct. Good eye. And we want it to be Navmesh because, for instance, let's say you're being chased by wolves and you're running all the way to the garden. You think you're safe, but you leave the gate open. If there would be no Navmesh to the left and to the right, you could stand in this corner and the wolves wouldn't follow you, and you can shoot them with a bow. Otherwise, something else we can do is we can add markers to the garden. Markers that, for instance, let NPCs dig through their gardens. Or at least it looks like they're tending the gardens. These idle markers are pretty frequently used in Skyrim as well. For instance, when you see an NPC training at an archery station, at an archery range, that's because there's a marker telling them to use archery range. Same thing with the gardens. We can let NPCs know that, for instance, this spot you want them to do a bit of digging, and they need the Navmesh to get from the path to the garden. That's hopefully a good enough explanation for you guys. Hey, 500 likes. Thank you guys so much. That's cool. Appreciate that. Skit, Gator, Mario, and Puff. Thank you for the follows. Alright. Something else I did is I excluded this one cell from the grid, which makes it a little bit easier to work with, but now we want to get the rest back. There we go. We checked. No, we didn't check for errors. Whoops. Mega, no, we're not infringing anyone's copyrights. We've been in touch with Bethesda. They know what we're doing, how we're doing it. We are playing by the rules. We're making sure that everything is in compliance with their terms and conditions. So there's nothing, nothing to worry about. I'm gonna save real quick. Because the last thing we want is to lose our progress, which has happened in the past. Alright, Journey, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that. Halbrood, thank you as well for nice words. Mixer is dead. Good shout. I think I still have my Mixer account in there, don't I? Yeah, I do. Whoopsie daisy. Alright, fixed. Oh man, why did you have to bring up pizza? Like I'm getting kind of peckish already. And I was planning on streaming for another 2 hours actually. How long have we been live? 1 hour. Okay. One error right there. Easy fix. Yeah, we don't have a release date. See, the thing is, while we're making really good progress and the project is in a really good state right now, we're still doing this in our free time. And the problem with doing something like this in your free time is that anything can happen. I might land the job of my dreams and I might have to work on this project less because of that. Our quest implementer, or one of our quest implementers, our lead, might, I don't know, break his leg, end up in the hospital, and be missing in action for a month or two. You know, unlike an actual development studio, there's a lot of uncertainties with us. The pace at which we make progress can fluctuate as well. We've had months where we got more done than in, you know, a previous year, for instance. And while that's great, that's not the rule. That happens to be an exception. There can be months where no one gets anything done because, for instance, Corona hits and we have to make sure our house is in order and our families are taken care of, you know? And if we make estimates, and we could probably make an estimate, but there's no guarantee that that estimate will hold up for a year or even a month. And the problem then becomes, if we make a promise, you know, we say, oh yeah, end of this year we'll release it, no problem. And then we don't meet that expectation, then there are gonna be people with torches. Well, maybe not outside my house, but plenty of people will be upset, and that'll, you know, hurt the project more than it will help. So that's why we don't do release dates. We've seen it in the past with similar projects. It doesn't work. There's not really an issue when it comes to cover, no. Hey Marcus, welcome back. Hey Kyria, I might play some Skyrim this weekend, not too sure. Not tonight in any case. For now it's Navmesh all the way. Let's take a good look at this road, shall we? Okay, sorry about that. Even when I'm working, apparently I still need to help with other things for the project. In any case, I'm actually gonna get rid of this right here because there's a tree and a bunch of just shit in the way, and NPC is not gonna be able to push through that. So as much as I appreciate the auto Navmesh for trying, it's kind of a waste of resources to put that there. Now it is important that that this road can be traversed, is nice and neat. We're just gonna make sure that it's as good as it can be. Cleaning it up here and there. Gets more narrow over in this area. Good. It's a bit more difficult, I guess. Oh, this works, doesn't it? Roberto, I mean, you're not really that late. We're still working. Still enough boring work for you to look at. Don't worry. Okay, we got a little carried away there because we did some cross-cell work, which is exactly how you make mistakes. So we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. We stayed in our lane, if anyone asks. It is, Joseph. It's too much almost. How do you cope? I don't. Honestly, I don't. The difference between a Navmesh and the water is nothing really. We just mark it as water. That's all. I mean, I can mark this as water as well. Shouldn't, and I won't. But that's really the only difference. Alberto, if you type !Navmesh, you'll see an explanation of what Navmesh is. I walked through it a few too many times, I think, already during the stream. There we go. If you have any more questions after that, feel free to ask though. I don't mind answering them at all. Alright, what you see me doing right now is I'm selecting the main Navmesh and I'm hitting I on the keyboard which is invert select. It selects any floating or any nav mesh is not connected to the main slab. I call them nav mesh islands, and they are useless. They are a waste of resource and space, so I just remove them straight away. No excuses. Nav meshing cities easier? In my opinion, yes, because you're working in much smaller areas. It's more manageable, not as easy to get lost. The terrain is very simple. You don't have hills, massive rocks, that kind of thing. You know, you have your regular roads, some crates on the floor. It's just much easier to work with. We have people making music for Skyblivion, yes. Sound effects not so much. We have a big sound effects library that we are allowed to use. Something we really need though is people who are experienced in the implementation of sound effects. Kind of what we're lacking right now. Third blue. Appreciate that. Breakon, thank you. Hey, DeMarco. Yeah, if you're a total noob, I suppose nav meshing is fairly easy to learn. And like Ors says, honestly, sharing the project on social media or wherever you can does help us a lot. It helps us reach new potential volunteers, which might be able to help finish what we started. So that's always a big help. People tend to underestimate how important it is for us to reach folks through our YouTube videos or even these streams. It's a bit of a headache, actually. Did you guys see the news, by the way, about The Witcher 3 getting a re-release? I think it's running on the same engine as Cyberpunk, which probably is a modified version of the red engine that The Witcher ran on. It's basically a Skyrim Special Edition, but then, The Witcher instead of Skyrim. I'm actually looking forward to that. So it has ray tracing, for instance, better rendering, improved loading times. If you own The Witcher, it's a free upgrade. Yeah, there's nothing to delay if it's not finished. We never delayed the mod. But there's not much to release if it's not done now, is there? Well, I was hyped for Cyberpunk and then they delayed it, and I was still hyped because I knew the game looks promising and The Witcher 3 came out very well. So I wait patiently. And it's almost time. Time to meet Johnny Silverhand. And fuck shit up. Exactly, Strife. Exactly. Stitched up nicely. Wonder how much more we have left. Might be almost done. Hope it's almost done. Check where we are on the map. Right. We're about halfway done with the claim, so that's good. And this is where we're gonna work on next time, because I am kind of pooped. I need to eat, take care of a few things, so I'm gonna write down these coordinates. We are in 40.8. I want to thank all of you for sticking with me today. Really appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, share a link to my Twitch. Whoop, that's not YouTube, that's Twitch. I'm usually streaming on Twitch, not on YouTube. Yeah, thank you guys so much for chilling with me today. I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully in the future we will be able to do a few more things. And yeah, have a really awesome weekend. It's Friday. Have fun. Play some games. I know I will. And I'll probably see you back either this weekend or on Monday. And thank you for the follow. But yeah, thank you very much. And oh, actually, before I leave, let's see if I can raid someone finally. Haven't been able to do a good raid in ages. Thank you for the follows. Appreciate it. I can't read because I'm going through Twitch right now. Alright, I guess we will we'll rate this lady. Alrighty, I'm gonna send you over to someone else. Again, appreciate the support. and see you next time.